Big moves are shaking up the Raiders' quarterback room, and this one might surprise you. The Las Vegas Raiders have officially released quarterback Carter Bradley. While some fans didn't see this coming, those closely watching the team's strategy might have expected it. The focus is clearly shifting toward the future, with rookie Cam Miller stepping into the spotlight. Cam Miller isn't just any rookie. He's someone who had the early backing of none other than Tom Brady. That says a lot. The Raiders made it clear. Miller is the developmental guide they're betting on. And with Aiden O'Connell already in place as a strong backup behind starter Geno Smith, Carter Bradley became the odd man out. Before we jump into more breaking news about the Raiders, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss an update. Let's dive back in. Right now, the Raiders have 89 players on the roster, one spot open. That creates a lot of speculation. Will they sign a veteran QB who better fits Chip Kelly's high-speed offensive system? Or do they roll forward with Geno, Aiden, and Cam? Here's the situation. Geno Smith is ill. But don't be shocked if the Raiders look for a dual-threat backup more aligned with Chip Kelly's style. And let's not forget, the Raiders might use that last roster spot on a different position entirely. Maybe a veteran wide receiver or a defensive back. There's still time before final cuts, and injuries can always shift the strategy. As for Carter Bradley, he was a developmental QB, undrafted, and never really cracked the main rotation. This isn't a headline move, but it's a clear sign that the Raiders are refining their depth chart with real intention. At just 22 years old, he's already being called the best tight end in the NFL. And yes, he wears silver and black. The buzz is real. Brock Bowers, the rookie sensation drafted by the Las Vegas Raiders, has already been ranked the #1 tight end in the NFL by a panel of NFL executives, coaches, and scouts. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler compiled this list, and Bowers shocked everyone by landing at the very top. And let's be clear, this isn't about hype. This is about respect from people who live and breathe football at the highest level. One NFC executive described Bowers as a matchup nightmare, with elite hands, breakaway speed, and the instincts of a seasoned veteran. Another NFL coordinator said, "The game just flows through him. He's effortless." That kind of praise for a player who hasn't even hit his full potential, that's rare. Despite a chaotic quarterback carousel last season, including names like Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell, and Desmond Ridder, Bowers still put up monster numbers, even breaking the rookie reception record for tight ends. Now, with Geno Smith under center and a more stable offensive plan, the ceiling just got higher. But it doesn't stop with Bowers. The Raiders could potentially field the best offensive trio in football. The top tight end in the NFL, a top-tier running back, and rising talent like Dante Thornton Jr., who's making waves in training camp. Throw in Jacoby Myers and rookie standout Jack Beck, who turned heads at the Senior Bowl, and suddenly the Raiders' offense feels dangerous, legitimately dangerous. And this isn't like previous years. This isn't the Jimmy Garoppolo experiment or the let's see what happens phase. This year, the Raiders have direction. They've got a system. And they've got Geno Smith, a quarterback with something to prove and the weapons to make it happen. What we're seeing in Las Vegas isn't luck. It's a rebuild done right. The kind that doesn't just aim for a winning record, it aims to shock the league. He may not make headlines, but inside the league, Kolton Miller gets serious respect. In the latest rankings from NFL executives and coaches, Kolton Miller didn't crack the top 10 at offensive tackle, but he came close. He earned an honorable mention, placing him among the top 15 to 16 tackles in the entire league. That might not sound flashy, but for those who truly understand the game, it's a major recognition. Offensive tackle is one of the most demanding positions in football. You're on an island, protecting your quarterback's blind side, going toe-to-toe with the league's most athletic pass rushers. And Kolton Miller has done that year after year with consistency. Some fans might question his ranking, calling for younger names like Thayer Munford or Charles Grant. But let's be honest, those players haven't shown they're ready to anchor a line yet. Miller has. He's battle-tested. He's durable. And he's one of the few linemen the Raiders can fully trust. His footwork, reach, and awareness put him in elite company, even if he's not on highlight reels every Sunday. And while he didn't land inside the top 10 this year, that doesn't mean it won't happen next year. Some veterans currently ranked ahead of him are nearing retirement, which opens the door for Miller to climb higher. The bottom line, Colton Miller is one of the most reliable assets on this Raiders roster, and his recognition by league insiders proves it. While others chase potential, Miller delivers results. As the old guard of elite tackles prepares to exit, Colton Miller's moment is arriving, and the Raiders know it. Veteran stars like Lane Johnson, Trent Williams, and Ronnie Stanley are nearing the end of their NFL careers. That shift in the league opens the door for Raiders left tackle Colton Miller to climb even higher in the offensive tackle hierarchy. Currently viewed as a top 16 tackle by league insiders, Miller could soon break into the top 10. Now, let's be real, rankings aren't everything. But for a team like the Raiders, which is building a new identity, the emergence of dependable veterans like Miller is absolutely essential. While Miller isn't known for elite pass protection, what sets him apart is his run-blocking dominance. He's the kind of lineman who creates lanes, sets the edge, and bulldozes defenders. Exactly the kind of muscle the Raiders will need if they're serious about powering the ground game this season. Names like Jackson Powers Johnson and rookie DJ Glaze add depth to the trenches, but it's Miller who anchors the unit. If the Raiders want to unleash their run-first offense and give running back a scanty room to explode, it starts with Colton Miller. And that shoulder injury from early last season, according to an AFC scout, Miller had a slow start due to that issue, but he bounced back fast. He's not top tier yet, but he's knocking on the door. That level of consistency, especially against top-edge defenders in the AFC, is exactly what makes Miller so valuable. The Raiders would be wise to lock him down long-term because linemen like this don't come around often. The spotlight's always on flashy names, but if you watch the tape, Colton Miller deserves a seat at the elite table. While debates around the NFL's top offensive tackles heat up every offseason, most fans and analysts overlook one consistent force: Colton Miller. Raiders fans see it week in and week out, but nationally, the respect still lags behind. Players like Penei Sewell, Lane Johnson, and Tristan Wirfs dominate headlines, and yes, they're outstanding. But some names still lingering near the top, like Trent Williams, have clearly started to slow down. At 36, his performance has dropped off, and if you study the film, he's had more than a few rough outings the past 2 seasons. Meanwhile, Miller continues to quietly dominate in the run game and hold his own in pass protection against some of the best edge rushers in football. He's not flashy, but he's consistent, reliable, and tough. In a league where offensive line depth is shallow, that matters more than a legacy name. And while rankings are often skewed by reputation, Miller's trajectory is headed one way, up. As older players phase out, break down tape for a living, even if the media hasn't caught up yet. What the Raiders have in Colton Miller is rare: a homegrown, durable, battle-tested blindside protector, exactly what every franchise prays for. A proven, physical wide receiver might be up for grabs, and the Raiders are suddenly in the conversation. There's growing buzz around Jawan Jennings, the tough, reliable wideout from the San Francisco 49ers, who may soon be on the move. While the 49ers have been juggling internal drama with star receivers like Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk, Jennings has quietly stepped up, and now he might be ready for a bigger role elsewhere. According to recent reports, the Las Vegas Raiders and the Pittsburgh Steelers are seen as logical landing spots if the 49ers decide to part ways with Jennings. And honestly, the fit in Vegas makes a lot of sense. Jennings isn't a flashy deep threat, but that's not what the Raiders need. He's physical, dependable, and knows how to fight for contested catches. He reminds many scouts of a T. Higgins-type receiver, not always in the spotlight, but always delivering when the offense needs a clutch third down conversion or a red zone target. Last season, Jennings had the best year of his career. He stepped up when injuries hit San Francisco and made it clear he's more than just a depth piece. For the Raiders, who already have weapons like Davante Adams, Jakobi Meyers, and promising rookie receiver core, it's not official, and nothing has been confirmed. But if Las Vegas pulls this off, it could be one of those low-key moves that makes a huge impact down the stretch. Trusting rookies is exciting, but is it enough to win tight games in the AFC West? The Raiders are building something fresh at wide receiver, with names like Dante Thornton Jr., Trey Tucker, and Jack Beck expected to take on real snaps this season. But here's the big question. Is that group ready to carry the load when the game is on the line? Picture this. It's 3rd and 11 fourth quarter, season opener against the Denver Broncos. Patrick Surtain, too, is locked onto Thornton, one of the best cornerbacks in football. Do the Raiders have a reliable, battle-tested option they can trust in that moment? It's not about doubting the rookies. It's about building a safety net. Thornton and Beck are high-upside prospects, and Jacoby Myers will absolutely be the go-to veteran. But outside of Myers, the depth is still unproven. Tucker has elite speed, but we haven't seen him take over a game yet. Beck and Thornton haven't played an NFL down. That's why a player like Jawan Jennings starts to make sense. He's experienced, physical, and thrives in clutch situations. He's not going to blow past defenders, but he wins with grit, size, and smart route running. Exactly the type of player you want when defenses clamp down late in games. And while names like Amari Cooper have been floated around in Raiders circles, Jennings offers value without requiring a major trade or cap restructuring. He fills a role that Las Vegas could quietly be missing. A dependable ex-receiver who can handle physical coverage and move the chains when it matters most. Adding one more veteran receiver might not seem like a headline-making move, but it could be the difference between a close loss and a playoff win. Talent is everywhere, but is it worth the price? The Raiders need to strike a balance. If the Raiders are serious about adding a wide receiver like Jawan Jennings, the deal has to be smart. He's a reliable, physical pass catcher, but he's not worth a top draft pick or a massive $20 plus million contract. Something in the range of Jacoby Myers' deal feels right, especially if Jennings brings another dimension to this offense. That said, the Raiders shouldn't stop exploring their options. While there's talk about Brock Bowers lining up as an ex-receiver, his real mismatch value shows up when he's working across the middle, torching linebackers and slot corners in space. He's a nightmare in motion, in play action, or slipping into the flat. Moving him outside full-time would limit what makes him dangerous. This offense is stacked with potential, but the big question remains. Are these young players ready right now? Dante Thornton Jr. has size and upside, but can he beat elite corners on 3rd and long? Jack Beck looked great at the Senior Bowl, but does that translate to real game day consistency? Trey Tucker has speed, but speed alone doesn't make a starter in the NFL. Then there's Ashton Jeanty, a rookie running back with star potential. Unlike receivers, running backs can often make an immediate impact, and Jeanty looks like he's ready to be that guy. But even if he hits the ground running, a one-dimensional offense won't cut it in the AFC. That's why the Raiders must stay flexible. They already released QB Carter Bradley, opening up a roster spot. Whether it's Jennings, another veteran WR, or even an unexpected camp cut, Las Vegas must be ready to act. With training camp heating up and preseason on the horizon, the next few weeks could determine whether this offense becomes dangerous or just developmental.